This week, one of the big stories in the news was the Ashley Madison hack. You know, it's easy to dismiss that story by saying, forget it, they're cheaters, they got what they deserved, or make wisecracks. Ashley Madison's slogan is life is short, have an affair. One might add, it might get shorter. But the fact is, it's a really serious issue for a lot of reasons. Okay, I'm not as concerned about the fate of the cheating spouses as I am. First of all, I think anybody nowadays who thinks that any portion, any corner, any nook or cranny of the internet is secure is out of their mind. So anybody who thinks that they can go there to do something that they wouldn't want broadcast to the entire world made a grievous mistake. What happened this week with the Ashley Madison hack was precisely that. According to the experts, all millions of names of people who went to that website and to a related website called something like Establishment had their information made available to the entire world. You had some very ugly scenes as a result, including some radio hosts in Australia who told a woman live and on the air that her husband was in fact listed in the hacked Ashley Madison database. That's pretty slimy behavior on the part of the radio hosts, I must say. But look, the whole thing. Now, first of all, we don't know who the group is that did the hack. It appears to be, as much as anything else, a vendetta against the corporation that does. Ashley Madison, the cache of data they dumped contained millions of addresses and included reportedly U.S. government officials, United Kingdom civil servants, high-level executives at European and North American corporations. Now, the message here is not that is not a complicated one. It is simply this: the internet, as it is currently practiced, is not a safe space. And while you may not care in this case, you should care in general, because a lot of information about you, far more than you have knowingly volunteered, is available on the internet. So all the people out there who've been poo-pooing critics and commentators, frankly, like me and many of us, for saying that, and for saying that the monetization of big data carries with it many, many dangers of spying, of invasion of privacy, of loss of our most precious personal autonomy, ought to be thinking twice now that this hack has taken place. Now, and while we're talking about the sort of rise of techno-libertarian madness, let's also talk about the fact that there was a horror story involving Airbnb. Now, to be fair, one horror story does not condemn an entire group of individuals, but the real implications, apparently a 19-year-old Massachusetts man says he was locked in a room by his Airbnb host in Madrid and sexually assaulted, that he contacted his mother through texts, and that his mother asked Airbnb to tell him where her son was staying so that they could she could contact the police. She couldn't reach the police. Airbnb wouldn't tell her, and so on. So this went on for quite some time, according to the reports. Now, here again, the message is terrible things happen in all sorts of settings, and I wouldn't condemn Airbnb for that. But one of the things we've been harping on here on the program is that we are allowing private corporations to usurp what were normally publicly made decisions. When do you reveal information in a case like this? It shouldn't be up to Airbnb. There should be rules in place that say that this needs to be revealed promptly. So it just shows that our social governance is not keeping pace with the technology, and companies like Uber that actively try to undermine all regulation, not just cumbersome regulations, are really putting us all in danger. And speaking of Uber, Uber apparently hired a convicted murderer to be a driver. He applied with a fake name because the Business Insider website reports that because of flaws in Uber's background checking system, 25 drivers with criminal records, including murder, child abuse, and assault, were allowed to drive for the ride-hailing service in San Francisco and Los Angeles. That's according to a complaint filed Wednesday by the San Francisco District Attorney's Office. One of them was a convicted murderer who spent 26 years in prison before being released on parole. Now, again, Uber has insisted it needs no regulatory oversight. This driver joined in 2014. Uber's background check failed to turn up its criminal record. Now, there are systems for taxi drivers that find this sort of thing. Now, are all taxi regulations great? Of course not. But when you have a company with an ideology like Uber's and like Uber's investors, when you have these powerful, wealthy people with an ideology against all regulation, you put all people in danger. And as we know, Uber also is capable of keeping track of everywhere you go, when you go, how long you stay, and when you go back. Again, people, time to be concerned. I'm Richard RJ Eskow, and this is The Zero Hour.